Bit of a change of location today because I was just having a quick black about before I went out, and I was on the internet as I often am, and there's a lot of hoo-ha going on about Joe Rogan and using the word like that begins with an N. I'm not going to say it. It's more trouble than it's worth, quite frankly. But it's very odd to me. It's like they've weaponized a word. Who the fuck they is beyond me. You can draw whatever conclusions you like from that. I'm not a big fan of racial slurs. I don't think many people are. And then you got the people who think it's funny, and you get both of them. I'm from a very, very white place. We'll say. It's essentially it's in the middle of nowhere, and there's not much point of people moving here. They probably move to a city or something like that if they come from another country. So our cosmopolitan society consists of people who are there's not many. To the point where there was a black fella who lived in the village, and he had black tagged onto his name for years, not as a slur, but because literally he was the only bloke here. I didn't indulge. I quite like the bloke. I met him a few times. He's dead now. But like I said, this word has bounced just from being crude to being absolutely unmentionable to a certain group of people. Now, if it was just unmentionable, that would be more understandable. But it's like another certain group of people have said this is our word, and I mean, frankly, you're welcome to the bugger. I don't really need it or want it, but it comes down to what do you do next? What's the next word we're gonna get taken off with, and what is the punishment for trying to keep this word? This is the next one. I don't know what it is. Lots of things start off with good intentions, and I'm not even sure this started off with good intentions. I think this started off. Well, maybe yeah. No, I'm gonna rephrase that. I think a lot of people thought this was a good thing, but I think a lot of other people were just looking for an excuse to tell people off. Now I know a lot of that. COVID's brought them out the woodwork because I should have really brought a seat in, shouldn't I? Ugh, that doesn't work. COVID brought them out the woodwork a little bit because all of a sudden you got all these people who had a bunch of rules from some place elsewhere that they could shout at people, and they took great delight in it. I know a kid who delights in telling me off for my bad language. I haven't responded at all. I haven't stopped swearing. I haven't told him to go mind his own fucking business. I'm tempted, but it's just not worth it. It's nothing to do with him. So I just don't. I ignore him. But this is the thing when people need to be careful when words start being taken off you and weaponized, like it has in this instance. This is a word. I mean, I heard all of the. I'm a fan of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I read all of his stuff, I read the, you know, the, what's it called, the it doesn't matter, that the Rider Haggard, all of the Alan Quatermain stuff, the Sherlock Holmes, like I said, Conan the Barbarian. These were all written when the polite term of this word was used, and that was that's what you call them. And then of course, if it was a slightly less civilized or refined person, they would just abbreviate it to what this word is now. And this was done in books that had an absolute bar on swearing. There was no other word you would find in these books. Maybe the odd one in Howard's books, the Conan books, that would dare use this word. And then it's turned full circle. You've got cartoons these days which they use fuck as a full stop in most of the sentences, which I don't particularly care about one way or the other about. But then they've taken this word that understandably probably brings back a few bad memories for a few people, and then they've just said, you've been warned, if you use this word you're going to get burned at the stake, and then do so. And that worries me, not because I've got any particular desire to use any of these words. Actually, what got us thinking about it, I've just been doing some capoeira, and I'm with an Englishman now, but I regularly train with Brazilians in capoeira, and I regularly train with black Brazilians in capoeira, and I know at least one of them is quite fond of this word, but he's allowed to use it, but we're not. And who is it who's not allowing us to use words and not use words? These people, who decided it? What board meeting did this come from? This decision that I was not privy to. I suppose you could say if it was anything to do with me, because frankly it's not. I'm not black. I've never been called that word. Then you could probably say, yeah, maybe I would have been on the decision-making process, but it'll be interesting to see if the next word has got some effect on me. I mean, I've been called all sorts. I come from a place where, you know, the joke is you marry your cousin. There's a few places like that, and that doesn't really bother me. But if somebody suddenly decides that this is in poor taste and that this joke should be banned, I'm wondering if I'm going to get a letter through the door or an email on the computer saying, what do you think of this letter? Or is it just going to be decided in the ether for us? I want to know what makes it so. I mean, I've got absolutely no idea what it's like to be oppressed, and it's difficult to say, well, you should feel like this and you should feel like this over a word. You should feel like this or you feel like that over something that's never happened to me. I mean, it's like getting a tattoo, isn't it? You never know how hard it is until you actually get it, and then you've got the different tattoos on your body. And me being clever, I got one. My first one was like here, and everybody said that's like the worst place you can get it, Paul. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, that's, you know, you tell us now. So yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's not a defense of this word or any other word or any other insult. I used to be of the mind that if you knew your audience and you knew it wouldn't offend anybody that you didn't want to offend, then it was fine. And if you did want to offend somebody, which, let's face it, sometimes you do want to offend people, you've got to have a pretty good reason for it, not just because you want to be a cunt. If there are reasons you would want to offend somebody, I'm not going to reel them off now. We're getting a bit down a rabbit hole here. But yeah, there have been other people who have started banning words, and there's been warnings in a lot of books. Orwell in 1984, when they started trying to take a lot of words out of the English language. Think speak or double speak or something, I've forgotten what it was. But it was ages since I read the book. But that was like the social dictatorship, which is still a dictatorship. I don't know if Hitler did it. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if I can't see the timer from here. Oh, 10 minutes. You know, certainly Stalin would do it. I read books from that period where people were scared to say his name. You know, look at we don't even have to go back that far. We can look at North Korea, can't we? We can look at people terrified to speak ill of Fatso, what's his name? Kim Jong-il? Or was that the last bloke? It's that little leak that's doing no harm. I've got one in the other room actually. I've got to get the boiler man out. But it's that little leak. It's not going to do any harm. But then the next thing you know, it's a less little leak, and there's a damp patch, and your floorboards are rotten, and then downstairs is charging you for the plaster that fell off the ceiling, and you're in the shit. So I'm not going to go away and I'm not going to start suddenly using this word out of protest, because that's silly. That's silly. I didn't want to use it before. I don't want to use it now. But I think I have to say it's my choice not to use this word, not anybody else's. Nobody made me not say this word. I made myself not say it, and that's the end of it. The fact that there's a rule on about it, it's like as you see a sign next to a cliff saying don't jump off the cliff. I'm not going to jump off the cliff just to spite the council. And I've only literally just thought of that now. So I'm going to take that stance of the next word that somebody bans us from saying. And I hope that wasn't too sanctimonious. This is my gym room, by the way, just in case you wondered. I've just had COVID though, and I've just tried to do a workout, and I feel like I'm 20 stone. But we're gonna get back into it, haven't we? Anyway, in other news, it's raining.